Hey everybody, today we're reviewing Monster Hunter. Now, I really don't know any of the source material. I'm going to come right out and say that. I know it's like a series of games. I have not played them, but what I can tell you right out the gate here is that they're not a good representation of the games, and I haven't even seen people play them, because this movie, dude, oh my god, there's so much I want to talk about, but I'm trying to keep this review short. I've got a lot of videos coming for you guys. But basically this movie, what I want to start out with is to talk about the opening of this movie. The opening is literally like bam, 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 stuff happens in your face. I mean, it does not take it slow. Like, there's the very first opening scene of the movie is decently paced, and then the next scene, they just boom in the desert, boom in a new desert, on the new world or whatever, and like it's literally less than 2 minutes, the transition from human to monster world, and it's crazy. This movie has serious pacing issues right off the bat. I mean, it is the very first thing you'll notice, and I mean, to be honest, the only stuff that I felt like was all right in this movie, the only part of it that was paced well, was the fight with the first monster. I think it was named like Diablo, maybe? Whatever. I'm not going to give away too many details unless you really want to see this movie, although I would not recommend it, but whatever. The stuff with that first monster was actually decently paced, but not very well edited, and we'll get to that later. Like, it just kind of flowed like a normal monster fight should, and I think that's great. Now, the other big thing about this movie that is very strange to me, this is a pretty big spoiler for the movie. Pretty much as spoilery as you can get. So if you don't want to hear a spoiler, then click off now. But, alright, 3, 2, 1. Listen, you guys. The movie doesn't end. I don't know what happened. It's like they had a kind of a final battle, and I'm like, okay, this is going to wrap up soon. And then they teased an even bigger final battle, but it was like the entire goal of the movie. It's like, alright, now that we defeated this side enemy, we're going to defeat the main enemy. We're going to literally accomplish our goal that we've been setting up for the entire movie. They start to go fight it, and then the movie ends. Like, it just ends. I don't know what happened. And I know that some movies, they tease like an even bigger battle, like the Lego movie. I just reviewed that. The end of the Lego movie teases an even bigger threat. And then the second movie, although it doesn't handle it very well, it handles this monster. And this movie kind of teases that sort of sequel, but it is not going to get it, because yikes. But I digress. Yeah, the ending of this movie is very, very rushed, and I'm pretty sure it's because they ran out of budget or time. It literally is edited to make it look like they're going to actually defeat this monster, and then the movie just like ends. Just a splash screen, title screen, movie's over. And there is an after credits scene, but it's basically nothing. It's just more fighting for like 30 seconds, and then that's it. This movie is very strange, you guys. Now I'm just gonna jump right into the characters. The characters, very one-dimensional. The main protagonists, the two main protagonists that we meet, that we have going on screen for like 50% of the movie, the middle part, they're alright. They do have some chemistry. They're getting to know each other. They don't speak the same language, but their pacing with their character arc is actually very well and believable. There is a part where, they kind of start to trust each other right after they fight, and it's kind of sudden, but after that, it's alright. And there's literally some characters that we meet like 5 minutes before the movie ends. I'm not even kidding around, dude. It's 5 minutes. And it's so just weird decisions with the characters in this movie, dude. I mean, I believe Ron Perlman is in this movie. He's fine. He's actually an actor that I can recognize, and he had probably the best character, but he was not in the movie for very long at all. Now, the score... Oh, and also, the characters at the beginning of the movie, like, you start out with a whole platoon of characters, and all of them are killed off. Literally all of them, in one 10-minute, 15-minute long, non-stop action, bloody gore scene at the beginning of the movie, and we never hear from them again. Didn't even learn their names, I'm pretty sure. This is how messed up with the movie is with pacing. I legitimately wanted to leave after the first 20 minutes because the pacing was just so atrocious. Now, moving on to the score. The score was, it was serviceable. There was one part where they were walking through the desert at night, and it was kind of okay. Nothing too special. I would just say score is slightly below average. Nothing noteworthy here. Nothing really worth talking about. Now, the art design of the movie is probably the best part of the movie. The design of the monsters are pretty separate from each other. They're very recognizable. I remember that one's name from earlier, so that's pretty impressive, even though they only said it once in the entire movie. So yeah, art design actually pretty decent for this film. The design of the weapons, the characters, the world, it was alright. Art team, good job on this. You succeeded where everybody else on your team failed. Now, on to the literal worst part of the movie. And this is going to tie into the lesson of this whole movie and the lesson at the end of the video. So wait for that. But the editing in this movie, dude, oh my god, it is literally atrocious. You thought the characters were bad? Oh my god, you have not seen the editing. There's one fight scene where the camera switches angles, and I timed it. The camera switches angles on average every 0.5 seconds, sometimes every quarter second. Now that is lightning fast, literally lightning fast for a camera change. There's one scene where this girl gets up, our protagonist gets up from the ground, and we see about 8 different camera angles. I counted 8, and that's ridiculous. You should not have that much editing. This movie is very over edited, which leads to pacing issues, which leads to a bad experience. And if you are not a fan of editing, use this movie as a case study for how not to edit an action movie. I'm sorry, it is that bad, dude. Now, the conclusion of this whole video, what we should take away from this movie is that sometimes less is more. The editing is so overblown and overdone in this movie that it's hard to get invested in the actual story. I left this movie feeling like I gained nothing, to be honest. It could have been a student film, a 10-minute student film, and I would have enjoyed it just as much, if not more, honestly. You can tell that the people in this movie at least kind of tried, but you know that they just ran out of steam and the project wasn't coming along like it should have been, and then they just kind of wanted to get it out there, put it in theaters. I'm sorry, but probably not a lot of people are going to see this, and as a movie reviewer, I can't recommend you see it either. That's my job. It's sad. They teased a sequel, but I just can't see any way that it would get made. Now, sometimes, back to the lesson, sometimes less is more, If they would have had a simple, more grounded story with a slower opening and more characters that we have actual time to get invested in, then the movie could have been improved a whole lot more. So just back up on the editing. Focus. This should have been a character-driven story, but it was a bloody gore monster movie. Not very enjoyable. It's not even a turn your brain off kind of movie because the movie moves so quickly with its editing and jump cuts and all of this stuff that you can't even have fun and turn your brain off. So, yeah, this is so sad to say, guys, but I genuinely believe that a Monster Hunter fan would have a better time watching The Croods 2. I was deciding whether to watch The Croods 2 or Monster Hunter, and I went with Monster Hunter. Probably should have went with Croods, That's an animated movie, and animated movies do better on my channel anyway. But, yeah, those are my thoughts on Monster Hunter. Let me know if you've seen this movie. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you could stand the editing and the constant shrieks of all of the monsters in the movie, because it was eardrum splitting, pretty much. I almost left the theater because of it and asked them to turn it down. But anyway, guys, that's all for this video. This outfit, full body outfit, is going to be on my Instagram. I also revamped my Redbubble. Let me know what you think of the video in general. I'm still trying to find new ground with editing styles and doing a bit more looser, not following a script really. And I hope you enjoyed it a little bit better. Thanks, guys. I'll speak at you in the next one.